Hi Scrappy friends, MandaJane with you here today. I'm going to be scrapping along with the Paper Issues September challenges, and this is for the Sagittarius challenge. We are going to be using the Shimelle Reasons to Smile collection today. I have this wood grain paper and the backpack paper. I'm not sure what the actual names of the pages are, but you'll know what I'm talking about if you have the collection or if you've seen the collection. The backpack paper is pretty perfect for a back to school layout, and I figured with having to use plus signs for the collection, I figured that a back to school layout is definitely the way to go. I have the Reasons to Smile project pad, and it has a lot of the solid colors in the back of the project pad. So that's what I cut the little blue strip from. I'm going to go ahead and cut the backpack paper into two 6-inch pieces. I'm only going to use one of them. I'm going to use the backpacks at the top of the scrapbook page, and then have the wood grain at the bottom of the page, and then that little 1/2-inch blue strip will separate the two halves of the page. So what I'm thinking is I will go ahead and have that as like a half and half layout, I guess it's called. The photo that I'm using today is from my daughter Elizabeth. It was her first day of, I believe, first grade. Her little brother wanted to walk her into school that day, and I was behind them in the parking lot. So I just snapped a quick pic of the two of them walking into the school holding hands. And there were a lot of photos taken that day. This is just one of many. And it was a good day. It really was. Everybody was happy about going back to school. So I'm going to go ahead and mat this photo on the blue paper that I used for the strip on the center of the page, and I believe I pull out another pattern paper from the collection to use as a background paper. I usually do mat my photos in a couple of different things, a couple of different papers that match the collection. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything glued down right now. I am going to use this red polka dot paper. The colors of Elizabeth's uniform were red, black, and white. That was their school colors back then. She goes to a different school now, but back then that's everything she had was red, black, and white. So there is mostly pinks and purples and blues in this collection, but there is a little bit of red. So I'm going to pull some of that out. There is a bag here of just random school supplies that I have from all different kinds of collections. I'm going to go through it and see if there's anything that I can pull out that will match the Shimelle collection that is my main collection for this layout. This is an Echo Park ephemera pack, so not everything's going to match, but there are some things that I pull out to use on this layout. There's a few different embellishments that'll work. There, that right there, that red frame, it matches pretty well. And there is, I'm kind of obsessed with sequin shaker pockets right now. So there is a sequin shaker pocket that will be made for this layout. There's a little red apple that'll work, and there's a couple of titles and things that I find in there that I think will probably work for this layout. Let's see. Yes, that title page right there that says Best Buddies, that'll make a really good title for the page. Back then, when Elizabeth was in first grade and Mason was in daycare, they were definitely best buddies. And now that they are teenagers, I would say probably not so much best buddies. They still get along really great, but back then when they were little, oh buddy, they were definitely best buddies. So right here I'm making the beginnings of the shaker pocket. I'm gluing down a piece of acetate to be kind of the holder of the sequins in the shaker pocket. I'm going to have to let that dry. I'm going to put that up at the top of my desk. And here I'm going through the Shimelle collection, looking at different embellishment pieces, scrap papers, just seeing if there's anything in here that will work for this layout. There's a bigger piece that would be another shaker pocket, but really the little red one is the main thing that I need for this layout. Right here I am fussy cutting some backpacks that I think would make good embellishments on this page. I am not a fussy cutter, so this is probably one of the only times you will see me fussy cutting anything for a layout. I was not put here on this earth to do any fussy cutting. It is not my thing, but I'll do it if I have to. And my main thing is I like it when the embellishments are already cut out for me. So you will see me using a lot of pre-made embellishments, not so much making them myself. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out what all I need for this layout. Let's see. What am I doing? I am getting everything lined up for the sequin shaker pocket. I need to go ahead and find some sequins that'll work inside the shaker pocket. I find some pink sequins and some purple sequin mixes from Picket Fence Studios that I just got recently. I think they will work perfect inside that red frame. Normally I would not use those colors with a red frame, but for this layout it actually works. So we're just going to go with it. There is a little subtitle at the top of the page that says, I've been waiting all summer for back to school. And I don't really know any kid who waits all summer for back to school, but if anybody does, it's probably Elizabeth. There's a little A+ oval that I put up there at the top of the photo. So that's one of the plus signs for this challenge. And then there's also, I also will pull out a stamp set you'll see in a little bit that I'm going to use that has a lot of plus signs on it as well. Please ignore the little silver spoon from my kitchen that I'm using to scoop the sequins. I have a Nuvo sequin scoop on its way here to me. In fact, I'm probably going to have to go ahead and do a haul video for y'all a little later in the week or next week whenever all my stuff starts coming in. I love haul videos, so y'all will get to see everything that I bought this week. And right here I'm putting the foam tape on the back of my sequin shaker pocket. That's just some little foam tape strips from scrapbook.com. And I'm also cutting the background of the shaker pocket so that I can get it glued on once I get all of my sequins inside. So here I'm just trimming up the back of that sequin shaker pocket, and then I'll get it all put together and you'll see how that works. I love these sequin mixes from Picket Fence Studios. They're so pretty, and I love the little containers that they come in. Here's where I'm mixing the pink and the purple and getting my pocket filled up. I want to leave enough room so that the sequins can kind of shake around, and then I'm going to get the that background mashed down on there really good so that none of the sequins escape from the pocket and they all stay inside where they're supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and get my title put on here, the Best Buddies title for my kiddos. And then I'm going to go ahead and get everything glued down. You will see that I use a lot of different types of adhesive. I use an adhesive tape roller. I use the Nuvo liquid adhesive. And at one point I even pull out a clear glue stick from Elmer's. I really will use anything to stick stuff to my page. I don't like it when stuff moves around. I will usually not put my layouts directly into the albums immediately. Usually the layouts kind of hang out on my desk for a month or two before I start putting them all away. So I want to make sure that everything is stuck down on the page. I don't want things moving around, shifting around. I want them to be where I stick them. So adhesive is definitely my friend. So I'm gonna go ahead and start sticking stuff to the layout and getting things where I want it to be. Here's where I start putting some glue dots on the back of things so that some of the embellishments will be at different heights on the page. I like it when stuff sticks up and sticks out and it's just kind of all over the layout. I'm going to go ahead and pull out this Vicky Bouton stamp set. It has these clusters of plus signs. I've never actually used them before, so you'll see me practice on a little strip of just throwaway paper. I just want to practice them before I start stamping directly onto the layout. You're also going to see me mess up. I don't know if I dip my hand in the ink pad or if I smudge across it at some point, but I'm going to get a black smudge of ink at the bottom of my layout, and it's kind of a mess, and it's not very pretty, and we'll have to figure out a way to get that all covered up. But here I'm going to go ahead and stamp these plus signs all around the photo. Here's where I'm trying to clean up that black smudge. It's not going to clean up, in case anybody had any doubt. It does not wipe off the page. So I'm going to get the stamp set put up, kind of clean up my desk a little bit, and then try to figure out how to cover up that black smudge. So I'm going to pull out some scraps of paper. I've got this multicolor polka dot paper that I think I can kind of tear and rough up and maybe make some torn bits for the top and the bottom of the layout, which actually turns out pretty cute. I like to have a lot of stuff on my layouts. You're never going to really see a layout that's too plain from me. If anything, you're going to be like, okay, you should have stopped. You should have stopped way earlier. I think I probably have a problem with stopping on my layouts. I keep adding more and more and more, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I like to have a lot of stuff on my layouts. So here I'm just kind of distressing the papers with my fingernails, just kind of roughing it up. I've actually got a Tim Holtz paper distresser somewhere on that desk, and I don't actually get it out for this layout. I just use my fingernails, and I guess that will work in, in a pinch. So whatever, you can also use just whatever you have. You can use the edge of your scissors to distress your papers. You can use an actual distresser or your fingernails. It really doesn't matter. I kind of figure whatever gets the job done. I'm going to go ahead and start figuring out the best way to get these torn papers glued down to my page, and make sure that everything is, make sure it's all even, make sure it's all straight. And I believe I'm actually using a glue stick right now to glue these down on my page. It's kind of whatever. I just use whatever is at hand, whatever is close enough. I'm not picky about my adhesives. So I'm gonna get that all straightened up, and then I'll cut off the excess in just a minute. So you will see You will see me double checking to make sure that things are glued down and make sure that nothing else is going to fall off. And then I will trim off the excess from these torn bits. I find it easier to flip my paper over and trim off the excess so that everything is still perfectly 12 by 12 whenever I'm finished with the layout. And here's where I'm going to get out my paint splatters, my ink splatters, and I'm going to use this Heidi Swap Color Shine. I believe the color, it may be mint, I'm not sure. I've had it for a really long time. I'm going to just do some ink splatters around the same places that I put the plus sign cluster stamps. I'm going to do just different sizes of splatters, just kind of all around the picture. Let's see. I've got just, I believe there's just one more thing I'm going to add to the layout. I've got some phrase stickers that are super cute. They're just off-brand from Amazon. These say things like best friends and be brave, things like that. Nothing too silly. But that's going to pretty much finish up the layout. This is what the final layout is going to look like. You'll see the picture that I'm going to post on Instagram. If you have any questions for me, I would love for you to leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this first video that I've made. And if you're needing to purchase anything, you can go to paperissues.com. They've got an online store. You can use my code MandaJane at checkout, and it will save you 20% off your total order. They have some really cute things in the shop. But if you have any questions, please just leave your comments below. And thank you so much for joining me today. Y'all have a great day.